What's going on, guys? Taking a look at the EURUSD. So pretty much here, this downtrend, and here kind of now seeing a bit of a breakout. Here is the resistance zone that we will target if we move higher, so still some room to the upside pretty much here. If we check the weekly real quick, so still kind of a consolidation movement. So this here is the bigger zone. So for now the target here would be the downside on the longer term. If we check the monthly real quick as well, so here was a consolidation pattern. Now here one, so here was the previous one. Now here, so the trend is still to the downside, but if we check the daily and the small time frames, here on the daily, here trend line, here the break above it, and now going for the retest. So checking the 4-hour chart here, here was also kind of a resistance area, and here a pretty bullish move to the upside, and here now going for the retest. So if we check the 1-hour chart again, what euro pairs usually do is, if we find a push to the upside like here, and then we continue to push higher on the 1-hour chart, and then we always see some kind of flags or triangles, depends on your drawing style. But here kind of I guess it was a double top with a bearish sign on the CCI. It looks like it was, yeah, small one. So this is why we are pulling back at the moment. Now the pullback here is pretty big, so it wasn't such a nice trend to the upside with a continuation, and here now we are breaking pretty drastically to the downside again, but still here somewhere the resistance line, so still above it, and the trend line. If we draw the trend line here real quick, was somewhere along here, I think. So pretty much around here. If we quickly just want to touch a little bit more points, so here was a breakout previously, a false one, and now here kind of a smaller one as well, and here, well, depends of course of your depends on your drawing, but here was the breakout with kind of a retest and pushing higher, and now going for the retest. So everything within this area here is still potentially going up. So the trend for now, or what I'm looking for, is, if we take a look at the 4-hour chart, is to be a buyer to, I think it was this area on the daily. Yeah, so the target is this zone from here. So this would be the initial goal and the trade to take, so somewhere along here. If we check the 30 minutes, well, here basically now pulled lower, broke here every kind of support zone. So the move to the downside is pretty big, but what I want to see is here getting a little bit closer to this support and resistance since here is kind of could be a channel wedge or a triangle, and then we could still pull a little bit lower, and here I would go for a buy. Taking a look at the 50-minute chart. Yeah, so here we will see something like this, and then we will see a breakout to either the upside or the downside, but it looks like this will go to the downside, to likely to here, and here would be my entry point somewhere. So 5-minute chart, pretty much the same thing, going back and forth. But yeah, I'm looking for buys now on the Euro-USD pair. So quickly, something like this here. If you enter on small time frames, I mean your risk reward could be 1 to 10 or whatever, depends on your entry. So the next one would be the GBPUSD. So let's see where we are. Let's check the daily as well. So here, this kind of downtrend, and since EURUSD broke above the trend line, GBPUSD is doing the same thing. And here is the support resistance zone, maybe something like this here. Oops. For our chart here, pretty much this uptrend. So all you can see here, pretty nice trend line. Which actually reminds me of the US 30 or Nasdaq pairs, since they tend to do something like this on the 4-hour chart. And here you could have entered your couple of times to your buying position to the upside. Here again, double top and divergence on the RCCI, so pulling back ever since 1-hour chart. So here pretty much these channels, triangles, whatever, and here double bottoms, pretty clear trend to the upside. Here the breakout above the trend line, here is somewhere along here is the support line. So here pretty much the similar pattern to the the Euro-USD. So here either again a triangle or wedge, broke this support line, and here is another one. So maybe here breaking out, looking here for buys and targeting the upside. So pretty much similar to the Euro-USD. So here again looking for buys, probably something like this here. What's going on? So yeah, this could look something like this. So here again depends on the entry. I mean, if you really have tight stop loss, this could go to 1 to 10 or whatever. So the next one would be the Euro Yen. So here, if we check the daily, here kind of this double top. If we check the weekly real quick, so here this uptrend, here the break below this trend line, and what turned out to be a false breakout, since we then continued. Well, actually we saw this breakout, then the retest to the resistance and trend line, and then the continuation to the downside. Now pulling up to the upside again, but we could still here see a continuation to the downside. Checking the daily, what's it called, daily. So here the daily now starting to move a bit to this side here. So here the previous entry was around here. Here we saw a pretty nice again double top and divergence on the CCI, and we went. So here this was a 4 to 5 risk reward. If you had kept your trade much longer, could have been 1 to 17. So quickly checking the forward chart. So here again this nice uptrend break to the downside, retest here resistance zone and pulling lower, broke this zone here with a pretty bearish candlestick here as well, and now going for the retest, probably this zone right here. Here this kind of double top here, what looks like will be here the second point, then a lower movement, and then the third one. So here it looks like we will go lower. Here CCI pretty high, so here consolidating, trendline resistance zone, and then moving lower. So here I'm still, I would still look for shorts, to be honest. Here broke this zone to the upside, so waiting for the break below here to the downside, and then entering my trade around here. Pretty simple, something like this maybe. And so here would look something like this. The take profit I would go below this low actually. So here 5-minute chart still on this uptrend, higher highs, higher lows. What I want to see here is a consolidation movement and then turning around, and then here I would enter. So pretty simple as it is. So checking the GJ as well. So daily here double top. If we check the weekly, probably a lower low. Yes, perfect. Here a trend. If we make this a little bit cleaner here. So here a trend, a break, and now kind of a retest. I mean the trend is still somewhat up, but here it looks like this double top and bearish divergence could still be a sign that we will go lower. Here again broke below this trend line. So a retest at the resistance line, now broke this support line, and now going here back for the retest. Here is another one. So this kind of zone, what I want to see here is here again this kind of double top, and here somewhere along these lines here I'm looking for shorts. 1 hour chart. What is here? So here is kind of a line, smaller one, that could still be targeted. Here is another one, pretty close to this one. So here again looking for shorts, 30 minutes chart. So here uptrend, 50-minute chart, 5-minute chart as well. So here basically similar to euro yen. So higher highs here, waiting for a consolidation pattern, looking for a break, and then shorting this thing. So this was the analysis for GJ.